New York native, but Baltimore. Can I say Baltimore raised you?
You can say raised me,
Right.
yeah.
But she's been doing a lot of good things in Baltimore, especially for the spoken word community. She actually just had her event yesterday, more than the open mic last night.
Yes.
So before we even get into that, let's get into you, Miss Alanah Nicole.
Let's go.
What you do?
So Alanah Nicole, so I started off I've been writing my entire life. And then I got into the spoken word scene around like 2008, just kind of like supporting and like watching my friends kind of grow. And then like 2 years ago, I was going through this whole like divorce thing. I know, like it was a lot. And I was like, I got married real young. And when I got married, I was in this very controlling, very emotionally abusive relationship, and it was just horrible. And I wasn't allowed to like go out or experience spoken word in that time, or life just in general. So in that time, I had two beautiful daughters, Blair and Harper. They're awesome. And then after that, I was like, you know what? I need to like chase my dreams and like really do what I'm purposed to do. So after that, I started Much More Than an Open Mic in winter of 2015. So we started off in a bar in Federal Hill. It was white owned, and they were just very greedy. So I had to kind of leave from there. And then I went to, it's now called the Sand Gallery, but it's with the Incredible Creation. I went to that art gallery. Right, exactly. And that was awesome. I stayed there for almost a year, but now I'm in Tight Fisted Fashion, which is a consignment shop on North Charles Street. They got nominated Baltimore's Best Consignment Shop for 2017. They didn't get the W, but that's all right.
That's fine.
We got nominated. But yeah, I've been doing spoken word. I love community outreach. I love to do like work with women. I have a workshop that's coming up this Saturday. It's the affirmations workshop that I'm doing for survivors of sexual and domestic violence and abuse. That's going to be happening at Motor House on North Avenue. So but I'm trying to like escalate what I'm doing and really just kind of reach more community members, because I feel like I was limiting myself with the way that I was marketing myself. And I feel like sometimes we do that. Like, I talk about sex a lot. Like, I think anybody who knows me or like has heard my poetry before kind of knows that. But I was trying to get out of that. So I kind of like said a little prayer, and I was like,
another side.
Exactly.
I got you.
So now I have this family friendly Much More Than an Open Mic coming up. This Saturday also. Saturday's going to be a busy day.
Working.
Working a lot. So I teamed up with Tree Baltimore, which is a nonprofit that helps to kind of bridge the gap with food deserts and plant trees. And I'm like a tree hugger. Like, I love trees.
You've been posting a lot of stuff regarding that.
When you say you're a tree hugger, like you literally like go to
I do talk to the trees, But I don't eat meat. Like, I'm just one of those types of people. I'm just real like grassroots, real just like let's just chill. Like,
so how long have you been living that lifestyle? Like, how long have you eliminated meat? And so can I consider you a vegan now?
I'm a vegetarian.
You're a vegetarian.
Yeah, so I'll still eat
What's
cheese.
the difference between vegan and vegetarian?
So vegans don't eat any animal product. Vegetarians will eat honey that comes from a bee, but we won't eat like the dead animal, or like if you have to kill the animal to get the product. So I won't wear real leather or like something like that.
And how long have you been living that lifestyle?
It's been 2 years.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been 2 years.
Self-discipline.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. But I needed it. Like, coming out of that relationship, I was like, I really need to like take control and really strip myself. And I was just doing a lot of things that just weren't necessary. So
I got you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you did start out, doing your spoken word pieces. So can I get an exclusive piece from Miss Alanah?
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah.
All right.
So this one it's an old piece, so it's not too risque. I'm gonna keep it like PG-13.
I mean, we can switch it up.
We can switch it up.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you guys have ever done like a walk of shame before. Like if you sleep with somebody and then you leave the next morning and you just dirty and you just feel bad. And I was on East Lafayette Street one time. I'm not gonna say no names, but I was just
so raw.
I was on East Lafayette and I was leaving, and it was like all these row homes, and I was leaving his house, and this little girl looked at me as if she knew exactly what I did, and I was just like, wow, like what am I saying to the next generation? What am I really kind of perpetuating? Like, what if my daughter had saw me, like something like that? Yeah. So I started writing this piece. To the little girl that saw me leaving tightly knit row homes at 7:12 a.m., I'm sorry that I leave my throne at night, but the devil stands at the edge of my hallway in the eve, and it echoes just right, you're lonely, he says. Wiping the sleepy residue out of my eyes, I run. Right there in front of this little girl, I began to cry. So I took off my shoes and ran up East Lafayette towards no place like home, because at 24, I was still struggling with intimacy. With every footbeat, I told her ears a story about how grown-up hearts never ever get the glory, and how with every smirk, at a speakeasy, you run the risk, the possibility of it turning into one of three things: lust, with a strong possibility of dust coating your untouched soul, all while learning to put your fancy golden rings in nightstands, especially your wedding band, and love, with strong if, ands, buts, and heavy stipulations, with a possibility of sex with no glove, because we love each other, right? And a 50-50 chance of rush romance ending up in poofy white dresses, or warning, this, the running of Birkenstocks against marble steps at 7:12 a.m., laced with lip-biting apologies to the next generation for promoting petty culture, the dusting of black-bottom feet from 10-year-old runaways. I run away from voided daddy issues. I'll stop there.
Because you have so many, do you find it hard to remember some of them at times?
Yeah, it is definitely times where I start making up a little, but I've practiced a lot though. Like I've been performing. I've been in performance art since I was like 1. So it's not, I'm not a stranger to like memorization and theater, even stuff like that. So
and and your pieces are very they're very vulnerable. You know, they're you and they're raw. So how do you actually express those, you know, unapologetically, you know, but just say it, you know, regardless of whatever it is you're talking about? How you feel so comfortable to speak on these things?
So it's funny, like I grew up and I was really, really shy. And I was a person who wouldn't speak up for themselves. Yeah. And I was teased a lot. And it was like, oh, you fat, you this, you that. Yeah. And they just told me everything about myself. And I realized that I started to soak those things in and started to take them on. And then I decided, I was like, you know what? I'm not that person. Yeah. I'm this person. Yeah. And honestly, like, we can't heal unless we're completely honest and true with ourselves. Yeah. And there's a lot of women who can't say certain things about themselves or will lie to perpetuate a certain image about themselves. Yeah. And don't do that. Like, just be yourself. I am who I am. I went through my journey. And if my journey is going to help the next person,
I'm going to share that.
I'm going to share that. And that's how I do it, though.
And I feel like, in a lot of times, you got to be the narrator of your own story, or someone else is going to try to tell that story. And if you aren't healed, like you said, they're going to affect you, and you're allowing other people to label you before you can even label yourself.
Exactly.
Like,
right.
That's beautiful. That's really beautiful. I respect your courage to just speak out on whatever it is that you're feeling. You do
I'm
that.
I'm pretty candid. I think anyone who knows me or like has been around me, I'll say whatever it is that's on my mind.
I want you to go into I want you to now tap into another piece. Okay. You know, that'll be a little different.
Yeah, absolutely. So I wrote this one like post uprising. Like most people have this one piece that's real like particular to what was going on in Baltimore at that time. But I happened to be outside at the time of the uprising. Like I was on Howard Street, and they were just like lighting trash cans on fire, just doing a whole lot of different stuff.
How was it seeing that live in the flesh?
Wow, it was pretty intense. I was scared, honestly. They didn't know any better, so up the steps he sneaks her. Now she's pregnant. Now he has to continue to sell drugs just to keep her. I know what you're thinking, this vicious cycle has to stop, but not before the baby gets a chance to drop. Out of the womb he pops into the same lack of morals and values. Now what do you think the baby will choose? Maybe he'll use drugs to numb the pain, because before he's even born his dreams are swirling down the drain. Don't let this poem's meaning go in vain. Will you be the change or remain the same? We have to stop using our history as a crutch, or cringing at the dinner table over subjects we shouldn't touch. College, slavery, dreams, or filling our heads with bullshit like nothing is as it seems. I mean, what does that even mean? If Black Lives Matter, you should value the black magic inside of me. Make sure it's stability you'd be providing me before you go inside of me. And if it's these standards you cannot meet, then stop inviting me. Stop indicting me with charges that you know you will drop. Stop using your children as a prop, dressing them in labels, knowing that shit is all fable. We should really be telling them how God is able. We should really be covering them in prayer, not 27-inch hair. How dare we say Black Lives Matter, but when we see our little girls exploited on TV, our hearts don't beat any faster. On IG, just trying to see whose butt is fatter. It's not until our young men's blood runs still that we seek to kill and destroy the enemy. But the things I'm talking about, that's what raises hell in me. One more thing. Sharing memes doesn't make you any blacker. This is reality. Repeat after me. There is nothing trapping me.
That is deep.
Thank you.
It's like you speaking to the soul, like
Literally.
yeah.
And it's vivid, like you see it. Because we see this every day, literally.
Yeah,
like,
literally. People are very disconnected from like what's actually going on, and a lot of people won't like involve themselves, and they'll continue to do or have the same trends or eat the same foods or wear the same clothes, and that's all that really matters to them. That's their reality. Is I need to wake up and go wait in line for these shoes. I need to, do all of these things in order to be this type of person, or be cool, or be trendy. But be yourself.
Thanks.
Really. Be yourself. Like, I know there's a reality that's not me. Like, I don't wear a lot of fake hair. I don't do my nails. I wake up and I think about things like this, and I try to make the world better because I see those things.
Because you see it.